What's up guys, I'm Trevor Holmes and I'm here at Popstar and we're about to do an interview, so stay tuned. So I think the biggest audience I had ever performed in front of before Idol was my senior year of high school. I played in front of my school and that was, I played in front of my senior class. That was about 600 or 700 people. And then after that, I was mostly playing like small bars for like 50 drunk people, and that's what I was used to playing in front of. And then, so then to go in front of this audience, because you not only do you have hundreds of people in front of you, but then you have the cameras. You see on the cameras, they have the red lights on them, so you know where they are. They're kind of like lasers beaming on you. And then you have the judges, and so you got to worry about looking at everything. And yeah, so anyways, it's a lot of pressure playing in front of that many people, but it's also the most energy you've ever felt. You hear about artists like feeding off the crowd, and that's such a real thing. So to have that crowd like in your face, just right in front of you, is so it's so energizing and so powerful. Yeah. It was terrible. I hated every minute of it. It's funny when you grow up. I think everybody has kind of like a celebrity crush that you never actually think that you're gonna meet them, or let alone like have to sing in front of them, or let alone them like flirting with you. That's just something you never think is gonna happen. So going into the room to perform, I had no idea what was gonna happen. I was like, oh, Katy might hate me. That'd be terrible. So then to get the reaction that I did from her was it was very flattering, and it's more or less changed my life. So overall, just I wouldn't change anything about it. It was great. It was awesome. So you know, going into it, my girlfriend knew that at the end of the day, she had my heart, and that's exactly what happened. I heard a bunch of people were like, oh my God, like so many guys would leave their girlfriend for Katy Perry. And but that's not me. I'm a very loyal person, and true to my roots. And I love my girlfriend a lot. And so also, you know, I allegedly I heard Katy's back with Orlando. I don't know if that's true or not, but so I'm happy for her as well. My biggest takeaway was just the confidence booster in my abilities. I wasn't really performing in front of big audiences or on TV before, so in the Idol experience, especially Hollywood Week, is like, it's almost like artist boot camp. They thrust you onto the stage just time after time, and you're in front of the cameras and you're in front of the judges, and you have to perform at a level of intensity and no sleeping. And so yeah, the biggest thing was just knowing that I can make it through Hollywood Week of Idol. I now take that with me, and I feel like I can make it through anything in the industry. And so that's by far the biggest thing I've taken away from it. Yeah, so Lionel, the first time I performed, Lionel said he heard this kind of like there was a raspiness in my tone when I really go for it. And he's like, that's the unique thing in your voice that you really need to hone in on, and you really need to utilize that, and because that's what makes you special. So I've been practicing that a lot more. And then yeah, and same with Luke. He's like, you know, he goes, I love your voice. He's like, I want to hear you dig in a little bit more. So I'm trying to really take that in and figure out how to do that kind of stuff and practice it. And those are both valuable lessons that I'll take away. So I always did music as a hobby just because I loved it. It was just something I did for fun, and I never thought about making a career out of it. I was going to school for business. And then I thought about it one day, and I'm like, if I get my degree, I was 30 units away from getting my degree in business, and I'm like, you know, if I get my degree, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go get a job that I'm okay with, and I'm gonna be all right, and I'll be financially stable, but I won't be happy, like my soul won't be happy. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna regret it if I don't. Music is what I love, and I just heard someone say, like, you know, if you can make a living doing what you love, then you'll never work a day in your life. And I believe that to be true. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for this, and hopefully I don't end up broken, homeless, and alone. But no, that hasn't been the case so far. It's been a major struggle. I've been pursuing music for a while now. But I wouldn't trade any of it. I wouldn't go back on any of it. So the first time I got recognized from Idol was, after my first audition aired, I actually locked myself in my condo for like 3 days straight, and I was just trying to get my bearings straight, and it was kind of like a shock, and I had everybody who's ever known me, and their neighbors and their sisters and their aunts and cousins were all calling me like, hey, I know you, I know your friend. I'm like, damn, so this is what it's like, this is crazy. So the first time I went out was like 3 days later, and I was meeting up with a vocal coach, doing a vocal lesson. And I had forgotten about the whole Idol thing, so I'm like walking into the studio, and this family was coming out of the studio, and they're like, oh my God, you're the guy on American Idol. And I was like, kind of caught me off guard. And then that day it happened like 5 more times when I was out, and I'm like, wow, this is real, this is crazy. And then I would say like right after my audition was when it was really happening. Like everyone had just seen me on TV, so they're like, oh my God, you're the guy. So now it still happens, but not quite as much as it was happening. But yeah, it's been really fun though to interact with people that see you on TV and are waiting for music, and they respect your talents, and that's like a special connection with fans. It's unbelievable. By far the most outrageous thing that I experienced during Idol was Hollywood Week. It's like, you always see on TV like, oh, Hollywood Week's so hard and you don't sleep, and like, no, it really is like brutal. It's brutal. I think, so the hardest part for me was I like sleep, and you don't do any of that at Hollywood Week. So I think the entire 5 days I was there, I think we slept like 5 hours. And you really like you really see what your body and mind is capable of, because you are at such a high level of intensity, such high stress, and no sleep, and you're like, yeah, it's so that was the craziest thing that I went through, was Hollywood Week by far. Popstar, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure, and hopefully I can come back soon.